Hello everyone. Today we shall discuss The Rat Trap by Selma Lagerlof. The Rat Trap is a wonderful story told like a fairy tale. It gives voice to the writer's conviction that no man is a criminal by birth. Secondly, every sinner has a trace of goodness in him which can be awakened through love and understanding. Love and care metamorphose even a thief into a good human being. It also talks about how humans are surrounded by all kinds of temptations and how we need to learn to surmount these temptations, which become like a snare for all of us. The story begins with a man who went around selling rat traps that he had made himself from wire either by begging or stealing. The rat trap peddler has been portrayed as a man living in extreme poverty who could barely earn enough money to survive. Since the world had not been good to him, it gave him great pleasure to think of it as being one large rat trap. He thought of the baits being offered, riches and joys, shelter and food, heat and clothing, just as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. One dark evening, he knocked at the door of a small cottage to ask for shelter for the night. He was used to being refused and was very surprised when the owner, a lonely old man with neither wife nor child, warmly welcomed him in. The old man, a crofter who used to work for Ramjo Iron Works, was glad for some company and shared his food and confidences with the peddler. He told him that now he could no longer do day labor and was supported by his cow, which gave milk for the creamery, and that he had earned 30 kroner through her. When the peddler seemed doubtful, the old man showed him the three 10 kroner wrinkled notes which he had received in payment. He took these notes out of the leather pouch which hung on a nail in the window frame. The next morning, both the men parted ways, one going to milk his cow and the other seemingly on his own way. However, after half an hour, the peddler returned, smashed open a window pane, got hold of the pouch, took out the money, and put it in his own pocket. He then hung the pouch back on the nail. Avoiding the public highway for fear of being caught, the peddler turned into the woods. He tried to take a straight path but soon realized that he had been walking around in the same part of the forest. He knew that he was lost and that he himself had now been caught in a trap of his own making. The forest was so thick that he had no hope of escaping. As he was tired, he lay down on the ground. Immediately, he heard the loud thumping sounds of hammer strokes coming from an iron mill. Relieved, he gathered all his energy and walked in the direction of the sound. The sound came from the Ramsjo Ironworks, which, although now closed down, was a large plant with smelter, rolling mill, and forge. There were many people who sometimes took shelter from the cold in front of the large furnace in the mill. Therefore, the blacksmith and his apprentice did not pay any attention to the peddler in his rags who had come in to warm himself and spend the night. The iron mill was owned by a distinguished ironmaster whose greatest ambition was to ship out good iron to the market. As a result, he watched the mill both day and night to make sure that the work was being done well. It was on his nightly inspection that he saw the ragamuffin sleeping close to the furnace. The ironmaster stopped in his tracks and then tore off the peddler's slouch hat to get a clear look at the sleeping man's face. Mistaking the peddler to be his old army friend, the ironmaster thought that things had gone downhill for Captain von Stelle and invited him to the manor house. The peddler, with the stolen money in his pocket, refused the invitation. The ironmaster told him that it would be nice for him and his daughter to have company at Christmas and someone to share their Christmas food with. However, the peddler refused. The ironmaster left the forge. A while later, another carriage stopped outside the iron mill. The ironmaster's daughter, Edla Wilmanson, entered along with the valet who carried a big fur coat. The stranger had gone back to sleep with a piece of pig iron under his head. Edla lifted his hat and he immediately jumped up with fright. She introduced herself and invited him to the manor house to spend Christmas Eve with them. She perceived the man was afraid and thought that he had either escaped from jail or stolen something. She reassured him that he could leave as freely as he had come. Her open, friendly, and compassionate manner made the peddler feel as if he could trust her, and thus he agreed to go with her to the manor house. The next morning, the ironmaster told his daughter Edla that they had to ensure that the man ate properly. He also wanted to make sure that he did something besides selling rat traps. Edla did not really think that he belonged to the army or was an educated man, but her father would not listen. In the meantime, the stranger had been bathed and shaved and was now well dressed in a suit of clothes which had belonged to the ironmaster. When the peddler entered, the ironmaster could now see him in broad daylight and realized that this was not his friend from the regiment. The ironmaster threatened to hand him over to the sheriff. On hearing this, the peddler told him about the world being a rat trap and how it offered baits in the form of cheese and pork and as baits in a rat trap. He warned the ironmaster that one day he too might want a piece of pork and would become caught in the rat trap of the world. The rat trap peddler thus spoke to the ironmaster, which really amused the ironmaster. So rather than handing him over to the sheriff, he told him to quickly leave. However, Edla felt sorry for the man and wanted him to spend Christmas with them. She told her father that he spent the whole year walking and was not welcomed anywhere. He was always being afraid. He was always afraid of being arrested. She wanted him to spend at least one day of his life in peace and comfort, especially on Christmas, and also because they had promised him Christmas cheer themselves. Ultimately, the father agreed because Edla had these wonderful powers of persuasion. The peddler did not speak. He just helped himself to the food and then slept. In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again, and he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candle light hurt him. But after that, he disappeared again. 2 hours later, he was aroused once more, and he then had to go down into the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. As soon as they had got up from the table, he went around to each one present and said thank you and good night. But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention that the suit which he wore was to be a Christmas present. He did not have to return it, and if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace and be sure that no evil would befall him, he would be most welcomed there. The peddler did not answer. He just stared at the girl in boundless amazement. He was absolutely astonished at the girl's generosity and kindness. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter got up early to attend the Christmas service. In church, they had heard about a person who had stolen from the crofter. They came to know that a man selling rat traps had robbed one of the old crofters. In the carriage, the ironmaster berated his daughter for inviting a thief into their home and was sure that their silver spoons would all be missing. When they reached their home, in response to the statement that the peddler was a thief, the valet told them that he had not taken anything. On the contrary, he had left a present for Miss Edla Wilmanson. Edla Wilmanson opened the package, which was so badly done up that the contents came into view at once. She gave a little cry of joy. She found a small rat trap, and in it lay 3 wrinkled 10 kroner notes. But that was not all. In the rat trap also lay a letter which was written in large jagged characters. This letter was addressed to her, in which he thanked her for all the kindness and the compassion that she had shown him for the past day. And he also felt indebted to her for everything she had done, because she was the person responsible for redeeming him from his old ways.